Hi, this is Makona Spokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I want to speak about a very important topic, and this is a topic that speaks about appointing church leaders. I want to speak about appointing church leaders. This is a very important topic because it confuses some, and some of the ministers don't even know when to appoint leaders and when not to appoint leaders, criteria of appointing leaders, and what type of people that you can appoint as the leaders. And all those type of things need to be addressed. I may not be able to address them all today, but I want to speak a little bit about some generic principles of appointing church leaders, because that may help you, because some of you still studying small ministries, some of you have not appointed leaders, some of you have appointed leaders before, but they've let you down, and you want to appoint leaders again, and some of you have lost your leaders and you want to appoint leaders again. So all those type of dynamics might be what you're going through right now, and that's the reason why I address this topic, and I hope this you will find inspiring to you. Now, I want to start by saying never rush to appointing leaders when the ministry is still very small. Remember that the leaders should be appointed for responsibility. They must not be appointed for positions. They are appointed for responsibility. So in other words, there must be something that you appoint somebody into. There must be a work. There must be a duty that this person is appointed to come and do. Now, if everything else you can handle, for now as a pastor, maybe with your wife or maybe with your husband if you are a lady pastor, and you are actually able to handle the issues for now because the ministry is still small, you may not need to appoint a leadership now. So in other words, if the question is when do I appoint leadership, the simple answer to that is you appoint leaders for positions, not for positions, but for responsibilities. As soon as there's a responsibility that I've got nobody to look after, and there's an individual that can appoint to come and take that responsibility, that is the right time to appoint a leader. Because we don't appoint a leader for the sake of appointing leaders. We don't appoint leaders because this is a ministry and all ministries are having leadership boards. So we don't do that. We basically wait until there are responsibilities, there are roles that we appoint people into. And when there are roles that we appoint people into, appoint them then, and therefore this will help you to actually have people that will lead or be engaged, because people that will be able to be involved and not just be appointed into positions, then they fold their arms and there's nothing that they can do because there's nothing at all of a role that they can do. So please don't feel pressure. Don't be pressurized. Don't rush to appoint leaders when your ministry is still very small. Secondly, never feel obliged to appoint family members into leadership, because sometimes pastors feel pressurized. You are having family members that are part of the church. Now, it is not a must that you should appoint family members into the church board or leadership. Now, you appoint family members because they are capable people, not because they are family members. Because they are available people, not because they are family members. Because they are able people, not because they are family members. So therefore, it's very important that when you appoint people, you don't prioritize people based on relations. You don't choose them because they are your relatives. You don't choose them because you are related to them. So please, because many churches crumble because members of families have been appointed and later they let you down. And we have seen people that are let down by church members, by leaders of churches, by people that have been appointed, leaders of churches that have been appointed because they are relatives to the pastor. Now they let you down. They mess up in the church. They just don't do the work. Or sometimes they cause scandals as well in the church that tarnishes the image of the church and the image of you as a pastor, who is the ultimate leader and visionary of the church. So please be careful, not just to appoint people because they are relatives. Number 3, never appoint based on friendships as well. Because there are people that appoint their own friends, and the same principle, like the family friends or the family people, friends may let you down. Friends may actually get so much acquainted to you to such an extent that they don't deliver in their positions. Now, friends are there for friendships. They are not there to work. And they may not even work because they're actually looking down upon you. You are a buddy to them. You are a friend to them. So therefore, don't appoint people just because they are friends. And also, I want to emphasize that it doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot appoint people that are your friends, but don't appoint them because of friendship. So appoint them because they are capable. Appoint them because they are available and they are able to do the work because of their capacity. So you can appoint them, but not necessarily because they are your friends. So please be careful of that, because if you appoint people based on friendships, you're not going to progress as a church. You're going to find it difficult actually to run the church. So therefore, I'm warning you against that as a church leader. Avoid using status, avoid using wealth, avoid using the fame of the people as a criteria for appointment of people into leadership. I know that there are people that will appoint people based on their status in the community, based on the professions that they have or academic qualifications that people have. Then you appoint people based on that. Sometimes we appoint people based on they've got wealth, they're business people of the day, and we appoint them into leadership. Not that they've got leadership skills, no, but because they've got businesses. Not because they've got leadership skills, no, because of their social status and fame in the community. And that is specifically not on, and it actually destroys the church if you do so, because some of the people have got the wealth, they've got the fame, and some of them have got status as well, but you find that their character is not there. They don't have character. They don't have integrity. And these are the people that are going to cause scandals in the very same church, because you appointed them just because they are known. You appointed them just because they've got money. You appointed them just because they are actually having a high social status or they are famous in the communities. So because you've chosen them because of that, they are the very same people that are attracting eyes towards the church. And because of that, when they do one mistake, it brings a lot of scandal in the church. And so be careful of that you don't appoint people based on their wealth, based on their status, based on their fame as well. But you appoint people because they are able and because they are available as well. Very, very key. And also, they must be spiritual people, remember? They must be full of the Spirit of God and full of wisdom as well. And this is a criteria that we know has been outlined in the book of Acts chapter 6, verse 3. So please, let us keep that, because that's a very important criteria to appoint leadership. The other thing is also be gradual in appointing leaders based on the amount of work, based on the roles that are necessary there, responsibilities that are there. And as I've said earlier, that you don't rush into appointing people. But in this case as well, be gradual, because one responsibility may come, and then you appoint somebody into that responsibility and accountability and that area whereby you needed somebody to work on. And after that, it will take some while also for another responsibility to emerge, because the church is taking its own time to grow, because the church is not growing like a mushrooming, like in a way whereby it just mushrooms in a day and grows big. So therefore, slowly but sure, the milestones of the church are starting from small and every step of the way growing. Now, as it does so, that would mean that gradually you'll start appointing leaders based on the need that you need to allocate them for, be based on the need that you need them to be responsible of. So therefore, you'll appoint them gradually as the church grows gradually as well. This is very key and very important, and I will emphasize that at all times. Take time to know individuals well and know their integrity. You must know their personalities. You must know the people's character before you appoint them into leadership positions. There are times when we rush because people are too talkative, people are too imposing. There are people that are very, very talkative, like they know everything. People that look wise on the face. People that look like they know everything at face value. So people that looks like they've got it all, like they are intelligent and they've got it all. Now, just because they're talking too much, just because they are selling themselves to you. And many of the pastors will appoint such people into leadership, not scrutinizing personalities, integrity, character of this particular individual. Then you appoint them into leadership. Then you realize after appointing them into leadership that this chap is useless. This chap is not doing the ministry good. This chap is actually tarnishing the name of the ministry because of lack of integrity, lack of character as well. So therefore, you only wake up later. But please, I want to say to you, as a visionary and as a pastor, please, before you appoint people, study them. Know them better, get closer to them, and also make sure that you are actually appointing them after you surely know that the particular person, because you've taken time to know them well. Very important. And you don't appoint people on face value because they're talkative, because they are dominating, because they are speaking too much. So no, you appoint people because you know their character as well, and because you know their integrity. That's very key, because that will safeguard as well your own image. It will actually safeguard the image of the church, and particularly more key, the image of the kingdom of God. We don't want people that will destroy the image of the kingdom of God. So please make sure that you know people well before you appoint them into positions. Avoid ordaining every church member into ministry. So in other words, there are people that can be leaders, either just become elders, but you cannot ordain them to become pastors. There are those that can preach even. They can articulate the word just because they've got boldness to stand in front of people. They've got confidence to speak, and they are good orators. They can speak the word because they are able to speak. But you find that the material of this type of a person is not an individual to be ordained, because ordination should go along with the kind of character the person has. This is very important. So therefore, don't be generous about your ordination. Ordain people that you know that they will stand the test of time. The people that you've known better. The people that you know them well in a way of character as well, so that these people may not damage the integrity and the image of the kingdom of God. So therefore, make sure that you don't just ordain people willy-nilly. I've seen people that ordain people very simply or easily. Now, as you do so, then you tarnish the name of the kingdom of God because of that. So be bold as well to remove people from positions of power, those people who work contrary to the vision, those people who are actually working against the vision itself. And you got people like that they are in the leadership positions, but yet they are working against the ministry, either by just not being involved, either by just not being exemplary, either by just not being available as well. So that's contrary to the ministry work, to the vision as well. But there are other people that are more intentional in working against the ministry. These are the type of people that will compete with the pastor, the type of people that will backbite and speak about the pastor badly to other people. There are other people that will try. There are people that will try to outshine the pastor. Even when given opportunity to preach, their aim and purpose is really, or their motive is actually to outshine the pastor, to win some supporters amongst the members of the church in order for them to be the favorite people in the church more than the pastor. People like that. So when people are like that, they cannot submit. They cannot respect the pastor. They cannot respect the etiquette of the church as well, or policies and principles. Those type of people, if they are in leadership positions, be bold enough to remove them. Please don't be afraid to remove them. Let them not be leaders anymore. Those that are tarnishing the kingdom, they are tarnishing the ministry itself. They are tarnishing your image as well. So please remove them from the leadership position, and don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to demote people. I want to end up here. Your host, Makwana Spokane. I hope this has found a place in you. I hope that you've learned a bit out of this. I hope this has been inspiring to you as well, and you will find pleasure in using this in your church and let your church get better. I pray and I believe that your church will get better. And next time we meet, we'll see your church at another level. Thank you very much for listening to us. Your host, Makwana Spokane. Allow me to say cheers for now.